Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. Reading the Nikon rumors, summaries, and whatnot of the much anticipated mirrorless from Nikon, the full frame mirrorless that are coming out with expecting a 45 megapixel and a 24 megapixel full frame mirrorless from Nikon announcement anytime now. And I'm very excited about it. Lots of you are. I know a lot of our viewers are. There's a lot of talk about this. The world is waiting right now for Nikon mirrorless. But one of the things that we're expecting, or is rumored, and you would expect this in a mirrorless versus a DSLR, is that the battery life isn't going to be as good on these new Nikon full-frame mirrorless. And I think, when you're getting a smaller, lighter camera, usually you're getting a smaller battery with less capacity to go hand in hand and keep the size and weight down on that camera. But then also in a mirrorless system, with its hybrid autofocus system and its EVF, you're going to burn more battery juice as well. So I think it's only natural to assume, it only makes sense, it's only logical to assume that we will get less battery life out of the Nikon mirrorless in comparison to a DSLR such as, say, an 850, the 750, or the 610. I think it can only be expected. I guess it's possible that we could see some brand new battery technology come out too. That would be very welcome. I think that would be awesome. It would be yet another way that Nikon could make these a home run, knock it out of the park. However, for me, this is not a deal killer at all. I would expect it not to have the same battery life as any of the Nikon DSLRs. I expect it to be very good for a mirrorless camera. I just don't expect it to be on par with it. As long as the rest of the camera is good. And actually, I have to tell you, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I think Nikon will nail everything on these cameras. I think we will be nothing but impressed with everything on these cameras, including the new Nikon version of Canon's dual pixel AF. I think they know they need to nail that. I think that is one of the most significant, most important points and features that they have to hit to make these successful. And that's the ability to have a smooth video focus, something like the Canon dual pixel autofocus system or Sony's. Sony's is very good. And I think we can expect to see Nikon. I am sure the camera will be good, but the autofocus system itself, that video autofocus system, has to be good. It's their Achilles heel at the moment, and I think they're going to rectify that. But what do you guys think? Battery life, if it's not as good as a DSLR, which we would expect, but still decent for mirrorless, is this a problem for you? Or is it something that you think Nikon should have addressed and nailed, should have been an improvement on a Nikon mirrorless as opposed to other brands? I think most of us can live with less battery life. But if you're a DSLR shooter, is it something that might stop you from going to Nikon mirrorless because you really, really like and need your longer battery life? I'm just curious. For me, it's a no-brainer. I don't think it's an issue. But I want to take the pulse of you guys. Maybe a lot of you are not in agreement with me on that. Maybe that's a big issue to get a new Nikon full-frame mirrorless where the battery isn't as good as your DSLR. Let me know in the comments below. Let's discuss it. I'm curious to see what you think. Is it a problem for you? Do you think Nikon might come out with some new tech there? We might see perhaps a mirrorless that's as good battery life as their DSLR? That would be awesome. But what do you think? Let me know. Looking forward to hearing your feedback. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon here at artoftheimage.com.